Hello everybody, I'm Tadashi. I was born and raised in Lethbridge. I've been here a very long time. Been on the north side my whole life, so that's one major thing because most of the people that are from Lethbridge here aren't from the north side, and for some reason that scares people because the north side's apparently real sketchy, and it's not that bad. There's not that much that happens over there. I went to school on the north side the whole life, Westminster for elementary, Wilson for middle school, and then Churchill for high school. And while I was in Churchill, that was my year of being all kinds of different things all at once. I mean, when I entered it, that was probably when most of us had the weird emo phase, maybe, yes? Was that a thing? Yeah. Started with that, listened to a lot of music that was involved with that genre, and then somehow flip-flopped all the way over to hip-hop, and that was really weird, because that's just what everyone listened to over there, and that's just what you listened to if you wanted to fit in. So, while I was there, I had a lot of fun. Not much happened. I went in all kinds of classes, did drama, did a multimedia thing. In my graduating year, I did yearbook, and that was a lot of fun. Kind of reminds me of how this is, except this seems like it's going to be on more track than we were in yearbook. I have 3 siblings. I have 2 brothers, 1 sister. My one brother is my full brother, I guess, and the other 2 are my half-siblings from my stepdad. And it's always interesting when I go out because they're both very, very, very blonde and white and blue-eyed, and I am not. And I think Aiden might have noticed that yesterday when he saw me at Five Guys, because they're sitting there with a little blonde child, and it looks weird. As for things that I do just by myself, I'm a very avid gamer. I like geeky things, comics and stuff. When it comes to games, I like all kinds. I have a very large collection that I feel I should be proud of, but at the same time, when I look at it, it makes me feel sad because I spent a lot of money on certain things that I probably should have put towards something else. But that's okay. I enjoy each and every one of the games I play and have a lot of fun with that. And when it comes to favorites, I like stuff like Super Mario Brothers, and really enjoy things like Dark Souls because I'm into being punished by really hard games. For comics and stuff, I mostly stick to Marvel. I like everything Marvel does, and when it comes to DC, I only really particularly like Batman and Joker and Harley Quinn. Basically, anyone that's in that little universe of people, I prefer to stick with because they seem more realistic than a dude in colored underwear that flies around and can be pretty much anyone without trying. I don't like that. That's too unrealistic to me, even though superheroes in general are unrealistic to begin with. And then I also really like Japanese comics and anime and stuff like that. I don't read much manga anymore, but when I do, it's mostly really weird horror stuff that I would advise most people stay away from unless you're into stuff like The Grudge and really creepy, weird imagery that will haunt your dreams forever. In grade 11, I should maybe put this in with the high school stuff, but in grade 11, I took a trip to Japan for kind of a study tour. The first week I was there, I was with a homestay, and it was very interesting. I should have learned some more Japanese before I went because my homestay spoke no English whatsoever, and it was very hard to figure out what was going on other than get in the vehicle, and it's like, where are we going? And it's like, we're going somewhere. I'm like, okay. And then we show up at a beach, and I'm like, I have swim stuff in the house. You should have told me, like, are we supposed to? She's like, they're like, oh, okay. There's a shop over there. Let's just go look at knickknacks. I'm like, okay, cool. At one point, I really wanted to go to the mall and just look at stuff. And I tried to explain that, and we somehow ended up at a restaurant where they cooked in front of you. And I'm like, sure, good enough. Works for me. And then during my second week, I got to meet a lot of really interesting people because it wasn't just me that went over there. There were people, there was 8 from the States, there was 1 from London, there was a bunch from Japan that were just coming in from the bigger islands, seeing how we were on one of the smaller islands. and we were all there and had a lot of fun. Everybody there spoke English, which was good, so for once I had conversation instead of sitting in a room by myself, not speaking to anyone, because nobody understood what I meant. So I had a lot of fun with that. And then after high school, I took basically 2 years off. I say basically because the first year was an actual year off and I meant to take it. And that's when I worked full-time at Sport Check, which I still work there, but I was the shipper. And that is not fun at all because a lot of stuff relies on you when you're doing that kind of job. Because if the shipment isn't broken down fast enough for somebody, you get blamed even though it's not your fault when a shipment comes 2 hours late when it's supposed to be there at 8 and it comes at 11. Not good. It's not fun at all. And then after that, I started upgrading because I thought I wanted to do something with programming. So I started upgrading math, which was my worst subject ever in high school, and it wasn't going well. I finished my first class just kind of barely scraping by, and mid through the second one I was like, I can't do this. I don't like math. It makes me sad. So I stopped that, and then I took the rest of last year off to decide what I wanted to do. And one of my co-workers, who is in the second year, had mentioned what he was doing, and it was something I enjoyed because in high school, social and English were things that I really enjoyed doing, just with the social aspect and being able to speak and write the things I wanted to. So I applied and got here, and now I'm really happy to be here, and I'm excited for the year. So thank you very much.